Thank you so much for doing my presentation about the Pokemon that everyone hates, and to preface, this is about competitive play. How it looks is not a factor in this video. Anyways, what is it? On the surface, Shaymin-Sky looks super basic. This grass flying type is obviously meant to be a fast special attacker with a bit of defensive merit. The big, cool, awesome stats are special attack and speed at 120 and 127 respectively. Defensively though, it can put in some work. Those stats aren't awful and it has some great resistances. Shit gets real with its moves though. There's really only 3 attacks, aside from hidden power, that Shaymin-Sky wants to run. Seed Flare has a whopping 40% chance to have the target special defense and 120 base power. Air Slash has a 30% chance to flinch and can pack a punch. Finally, Earth Power deals with the steel types that resist its grass and flying moves. It also has other solid defensive options with Substitute and Leech Seed, but if you play competitive Pokemon, you'd know it's coming next: Serene Grace. This one ability turns everything we've talked about on its head. So far, it sounds like an interesting Pokemon with lots of variety in different sets. Maybe a bit frustrating, sometimes luck reliant, but not too bad. Unfortunately, Serene Grace turns the issue up to 11. This ability doubles all secondary effects, which includes both the 2-stage special defense drop and more importantly, the Air Slash flinch. All of a sudden, flinching becomes the most likely outcome, and the Spadef drops are happening more often than Thunder hitting. The set that everyone hates is Substitute plus Leech Seed. This combo is hard to stop normally, but on a blazing fast Pokemon that's constantly flinching you and lowering your defenses, it can be nearly unplayable. Dealing meaningful damage to sticks is very difficult. It's impossible to wall, it's impossible to outlast, it's impossible to switch into safely, and it's nearly impossible for slower Pokemon to beat it, which, need to remind you, is most of them. This guy is obviously banned in overuse, but thankfully it's not that great in Ubers. The power shift is immense and turns its defenses from fine to dies very early. It can still put in some serious work though. Subseed sets are very good, acting as a great check to many top tier Pokemon like Non-Scarf Kyogre. By switching in and setting sub, it can go to town, or it can throw off a Seed Flare to put immense pressure on the incoming enemy, but Seed Flare is arguably even more potent on Choice Scarf sets. One of the big issues with Scarfers is that it's somewhat easy to switch in a resist and tank their attack, but with half special defense, those counters stop being counters. For example, Giratina Origin often can't comfortably switch in after hazard damage as it can be threatened by a 2-hit KO. It can even rock a Life Orb or Specs to increase its wall breaking potential. This thing is very consistent. In Gens 4 through 6, Shaymin-Sky is a B rank Pokemon, and after that it would only fall to the C's. It's certainly been affected a bit, but power creep isn't a huge deal for it. Shaymin's gonna keep on Shaymining. This was going to be a regular slide, but I wanted to show you guys a visual example, and this is a really good one. So I was playing this Ubers game. This person's team isn't super great, but it perfectly shows just how nuts Shaymin can be. I played a lot of games in preparation for this video, and Shaymin just does stuff like this all the damn time. So I've leech seeded this Chansey, I have my Shaymin in, and I'm about to exert a lot of pressure because I'm going for Seed Flare, and I'm going to get the special defense drops. Now their Chansey is dead to like Air Slash flinch, plus Leech Seed, and they're in a lot of trouble. So they're going to go into their resist with a pretty decent stat line Goldango that you would think would be able to like take this guy on. However, I know this is gonna happen. I click Seed Flare. I'm going to get the Spadef drop. I deal 36, and then next turn I hit again and deal 64. Holy shit! They switched in a resist with pretty good stats, and it died in 2 hits because I got an 80% chance. That's insane. It gets even better. They Terra their Annihilate out of the Air Slash. I hit and I flinch it anyways, and it doesn't matter. I don't think I can get like 5 in a row, so I go for Seed Flare, and I get the Spadef drop, but they go for instead of attacking me, they go for Taunt, because rightfully so, they're really scared of Substitute. I go for Air Slash, and I flinch again, and I kill the Annihilate, and I won this game in 30 turns. I led with Shaymin, and Shaymin never left the field. It's insane. In conclusion, Shaymin-Sky is an absolute monster. Is it cute? Sure, but every time I see it on the other player's team, I know something horrible is about to happen. Thank you so much for watching.